Hello, hello, it's Joanna Kijanka from our headquarters and welcome you to the Spiel Digital on Saturday. I think it would be cool if you would guys tell me if everything is okay, if you can see me and you can hear me. Say hello on the chat, give us likes if you want to, because it's quite important for us, so more people see us. So let me check the chat. Hi, siemanko, siemanko. Hello there. And I think we have some, oh, okay, I think it's okay, it's fine. Hello guys, and all right, I think everything is set, that you can see me. And today we will talk about the Book of Adventures, our new Kickstarter for Robinson Crusoe. And I don't know if you guys know, but it's already 8 years that since we released the game. And it's so cool that you are contributing to the community. And I mean, each time we are giving you some time for, make your own scenarios and your own modes. And when you want some feedback, when you buy new expansions, it's always so good to come back to it every once in a while when Ignacy asks me to do something more. And well, actually, each time I come back to the island, I know that I will die a lot of times. Probably you guys die too. But it's so nostalgic because it's already 8 years, and that's I think one of the first titles that I actually worked on with Ignacy. So there is also that. And hello there, Krumholz Konrad. Hello, Kubus. How are your day, guys? How you enjoy Spiel Digital? Because, well, for us, the previous 2 days when me and my friend from work, Marek, are driving to the work, it's always like, Marek, we would already be on SN. And it's kind of nostalgic, but I like that new experience because I now have a chance to talk with you in person, because on conventions you don't have that many chances to tell anything, your experience to the broader public, to the broader, let's say public. And now I have a chance to throw myself into it, of course with the help of Ignacy and Marek, who are helping with the streaming, telling me what to actually do, and I hope I'm doing fine and that you can...
Just be yourself.
All right, maybe not too much, because that being a designer requires some, let's say, crazy ideas, and I will show you all that on actual scenarios. And I think we can actually start to talk about how it's done and what is the Book of Adventures. So first off, we'll have Kickstarter for the Book of Adventures, and it will be amazing because, first of all, it will include all the scenarios from the base game, all the scenarios from our contest that we had during this year, from all our fans from all the world, a lot of Polish fans, and and this is quite surprising because we had quite young designers which were made by the kids and their dads and their moms and their families, and they were putting all those stuff together, making the rules together. And when they were sending it to me, they were so proud of it, and I love listening to all those stories that you guys actually were doing it with the family, with the friends, and that actually you were connected and you did something creative. And I loved playing all those scenarios. You had scenarios about your friends, about your dogs, about your other pets, about all these fantastical histories, catching the dragon, or putting yourself on the island when you are playing Robinsons, on the TV. And those were so creative, and I loved that. So when I playing all of them, and there was a lot, I actually had a hard time to figure out which of the 10 should be on the top, which should be included, because it was such a hard decision. And I really hope that you guys would have a chance to see even more of it. But, well, we only had space for 10 people, and I really enjoyed all of those. So I just hope that you guys will have fun, same as me when I was playing them, that you will also be able to experience all those, creative histories that were created by our fans. And actually there's also a couple of scenarios made by me. Well, I also had quite a fun time, because I made something like a trilogy with some of the scenarios, but I will explain them later. I did some junior scenarios when you want to play with the younger players. And there is a lot of content. So let me just tell you. Here is how the scenarios look like normally in the base game, but with the Book of Adventures you will receive this huge format, and it will be in a quite nice cover. I don't know if it's gonna be the same as this one. Of course, this is just a book as a replacement. I just want to tell you how the size is, and when you will open it, it's gonna be so huge. And you will have presented all those rules, all those amazing graphics. And there is also fact that on the book you will have extended versions of each scenario, because you will have 3 difficulty levels. So when you want, for example, play the Castaways. Now, you know, the base scenario, the first one, you already beat it hundreds of times. But now you will be able to play it on even easier mode, if you want to present it to someone who didn't play it at all, and also the harder mode, when you can experience this on the whole new level, when you will have, let's say, new weather, new costs, when you will have to actually change your way of thinking, even though the rules will be the same. And I think it's gonna have, with all these, normal scenarios, there are 7, I think. There is also scenarios from our shop, also about 5, so we already have like 12. 10 scenarios from our fans, so it's already 22. 10 scenarios from me, so it's 32. And all of those will also have 3 difficulty levels. So as you can see, it's gonna be such a wide book with lot of adventures for you guys. And I really hope that you will be able to get to all of them, to like remind yourself some older ones on the new levels. And well, I just invite you to the Kickstarter at this point. I don't know the date yet, but probably Ignacy will inform you as soon as possible. And I think it's gonna be an amazing time for you, so why wouldn't you buy that? It's gonna be in this beautiful format. You're gonna have changed illustrations, new graphics, new rules, new adventures. And well, I think we can go. Okay, so let's have a look what the check says. Okay, it's about 50. Very nice, excellent idea. Thank you. And it will be okay to start with the Book of Adventure. Well, actually, you will have everything connected to the scenarios. So when you will get your Robinson base game and Book of Adventures, you will be able to play all those normal scenarios in the, in the book. So there are, some of them are the same. So I would say that it's nice ways to start, because you will have it on the bigger format, and well, the look of it, the quality will be just better. So I think it's a good start for you. Will it include mystery tale scenarios? I I think it won't, because there is some additional rules to that, and people who don't have an expansion won't be able to actually play that with only Book of Adventures. But I think it's gonna be, you know, it's Kickstarter. We interact with you guys, so if enough of the people, some stretch goals will be unlocked. I think we can manage to do that, but it's not up to me, it's up to Ignacy. For now, we don't have it in our plans, but, well, as long as you will require, you will say that you want it, I think we can make some adjustments. And will the book cope with newspaper version of Dr. Livingstone and envelopes of treasure? Well, about that I'm not quite sure also. Probably you will have included the newspaper and the letters separately, because, well, you have to like open them out of the book, so if they would be printed on the book it wouldn't make much sense, so probably they will be separate from the book, but the scenarios themselves will be in this new format. Will the treasure chest box be available as an add-on in Kickstarter? Also, I'm not quite sure. Probably we will have a couple of games that you can buy as an add-ons.
I think it's too early to say something about it. I don't know. Well, why not? I
mean,
think it will be, but we will see.
It would be
right?
good to have a, you know, special offers with the bundles. So probably it's gonna be like that, but I cannot promise. And okay, will the Book of Adventures be available only in Kickstarter, or are you going to distribute it in regular retailer later on? I think we will also have it in our shop later on, but not in the retail distribution. But also that's a question for later period, because now we only present you how it's gonna look, and all the Kickstarter details will be released later, and Ignacy will be in charge of that. So I can only tell you it's how it looks from the designer developer perspective at this point. And easy level from the start with book. Yes, there will be easier levels for you, so it's good to start with the Book of Adventures if you want to like scale the scenarios up to your current you know, skill level. Is this going to blow up? Any crazy stretch goal ideas? Well, I have a couple of them, but I will have to pitch them on the conference, you know, group meeting. I'm not quite sure if any of them will go to the stretch goals, but last time when we were releasing the Stronghold, I actually managed to get a couple of my ideas onto them, so I think we will have some crazy stuff for you guys too. Take my money, okay. I will gladly take that. And will there be KS exclusives not available on retail? As I already said, there probably won't be a retail version, so all you will get on Kickstarter, you will get there. I think there will be also able in our shop, but it's not a retail, so only KS edition will be available. All right, what's your favorite scenario that didn't make it in? I think it's about the story when you are having this journey to the Middle Earth, something like this, when you had someone, I'm not quite sure if it was Frodo, but it was about having this concept of players getting forward and forward and forward, when you had something like a map that is actually moving, like in a Mario, you know, when you get to the right, the map moves forward and you cannot go back. And well, of course, theme of Lord of the Rings, and I love fantasy themes, so it was very, very good, but there was a lot of issues with actually managing to, you know, put the tiles in a good positions, and I would have to fix a lot of rules to make it not that fiddly. But the theme was there and it was amazing, and the initial idea of only moving forward was also wow. And I love the thing that you could actually interact with the board, and it was always on the move. So I think it was like on the 11th place. All right. Any PIMPS components for KS will be there. We actually now have pre-order for the treasure chest, and there are some resin components that you can get only in the pre-order. Am I right, Marek? The treasure chest special components, the resin, markers. So they're only available in our treasure chest now in pre-order, right?
Yeah, but most the Europe pre-orders are ended.
All right.
So they're only available in the US pre-orders.
All right. So if you're from the US, then you can still take them, and I can assure you they look amazing. I already saw them. I would like to have my own copy, but I don't know if we will have enough. So, your guys first, and if we have a couple left, then our team can take them, because I would love to play with some resin markers. They are like, shaped into all those trees, all those skins, all those toasts. And you even have the special tile for the camp when it's like, on the top of the tile, and it's really like vibrant and looks amazing. So if you're from US, I invite you to check out the treasure chest and our pre-order, which includes all the mini expansion released from the Robinson Crusoe since 2012. And map moving sounds like an amazing game mechanic. Yes, and I assure you that actually I have some twists on moving the map also in my scenarios, but I will tell you about that just in a second. If you have any other questions, I will come back to them later. Marek will check out the most interesting ones. And now let's go to the section when I actually talk about what you can receive in the book. So let's start with the scenarios from our fans, from the contest that we had during this year. And these are the scenarios that actually came to us.
Just to let you know, you have about 1 minute per scenario.
I don't think so. I have 40 minutes for all, so...
20 scenarios?
Yeah, I think so. All right. So Ignacy is checking out if I will be able to talk every one of them, but I don't think I will be able to do that, because there is just so many stuff that I want to show you guys. And well, let's start with the Forbidden Island scenario from Toby Abad. And the first thing is that you ended up in the island where there is some strange powers, you think, because you were rescued by a strange lady who took you off the shore and helped you, get up. And she says that you really have to go out, you really have to run away, because forces on this island don't want anybody here. And one amazing thing about it is that you can actually interact with this strange lady. Of course, you first have to find her on the island. She has her own settlement. And and when you do find her, you can ask her to let's say distract those dark forces, which gives you more time to actually fix your motorboat, because as your motorboat crashed, and well, as you will explore the island, you see that there is a lot of broken motorboats. So you think the dark forces is taking those boats, don't know, maybe summoning it in some way, and they crash on the shore, and those dark forces are trying to kill you. seems like a thriller horror film, which is actually quite nice to have also this old lady which can somehow survive on the island. And there's a mechanism of finding the parts among the special discoveries. You have a couple of piles of those special discoveries in which are like shuffled between all the other ones. And you have special actions in which you can search for those motor parts. So let's say I go to the tile with another wreckage of the motorboat, and I can search through the discoveries to check out if I will find a certain part. I have to find, the engine. You have to find brakes to fix them. And of course, when you collect all those parts, you are able to fix the boat and actually run away. Normally you have like about 5 days from what I remember, but if you will spend your discovery tiles and ask old lady to help you, you will be able to give yourself more time. And also you can trade for the information, so you can go to the old lady and ask her if she can help you, figure out which let's say stack of the discoveries are more likely to have those parts. So there is everything about finding those parts and coping with strange woman and trying to be safe, because those dark forces are trying to kill you more and more each day. So there is like higher and higher stakes. They are getting stronger. They are getting more and more, let's say, courageous about what they're doing to you. They are trying to kill you, so you will have to build a lot of the weapons. You will have to also interact with some weather. So, you need to make a roof, you need to explore a lot to find those spaces with the motorboat, you need to search for the parts, which are the special actions. And also there is let me show you that the strange woman actually lives on the tiles where are the camps, the special shelters. So it's also the part that actually on the tile you can see that someone could live there, because mechanically it makes sense. So I really like this approach. And when it comes to the difficulty level, I think it's like in the middle. I mean, I had a hard time trying to win that, but those additional days really gave me a chance to do that. But it's a really, I would say, quite an interesting choice, because those discoveries often give you a lot of nice stuff, like let's say additional wood or the medicine, or the when you have pots you can get additional life back. And when you think about, well, do I want to use it now because I would like to have some more wood, but if I will keep it I can exchange it for another day on the island. It's a choice that actually makes you think about what's more important, if you want to keep it for later just to keep it safe, or you want to use it now and hope that you will be fast enough to make it work until the doom comes onto you. And well, this is all about the Forbidden Island, and I think, guys, we can go to the next one. And it's the Reality Island, the one I already mentioned. And it's about being on the island when they're putting you in the special TV show. And you have the episodes which are being scripted by the the screenwriters for the show, and you have to follow the script. So each day has two special events that will tell you that this is what the viewers like and what we want you to do to, of course, make sellings out of the show, because people need to watch it in order for us to get money. So you basically lose if you don't listen to the screenwriters. But also there is a special mechanism for the morale deck, because now it's it's the viewers watch, so it's like their popularity. So instead of being morale, you see if the viewers like your crew because you are making the interesting show. So normally you cannot go to the action, clean the camp to make your morale up, but you have to do stuff that viewers like to watch, and those will automatically go up. And it's actually quite challenging because you need to sometimes figure out what you will need in the, let's say, 4 episodes away. So when the third episode says have roof, then you know that during the first day it would be nice to have the, the initial camp. Or maybe, well, the first day it's hard to make a camp. So let's say in the second day you need to make a camp, and in the third day you need to make a roof. So you know that if you don't make a camp in the second day, you know that you won't already be able to make a roof in the third one. But also, you still have 2 choices for each episode. And if you are able to make both of them, you get bonus because viewers were entertained during this episode, and your viewers, track goes up. And of course, it still gives you determination because, you like to being liked.
You want a water?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Well, it's really something new for me to talk over and over the show without, getting any breaks. I'm not quite sure how Ignaz does it, but he's amazing.
Like a boss.
All right, so going back to the reality island, first we have episodes in which we have 2 special actions, and those special viewers track when you can see if your popularity goes up or goes down. And what are the totems? Those are those special scripted events, like you can meet a friendly tiger, and you say, well, who would meet a friendly tiger on an island? But of course there is something like wink wink from the producers, and you can make special actions for that. You can actually find the special hidden camera and have these special moments when you're talking to the viewers privately, which are, I think, most of times available in those kind of shows when you have this time alone and viewers can check out what you think, and that way you can also get your popularity up. Thank you, Marek.
No problem.
All right. And what is the other thing about this scenario? I think it's quite the one of the harder ones when it comes to complexity, when it comes to difficulty, because you have to figure out during each day what to make it to the another episode, but also be able to make some plans for the the episode 3 episodes away, how to actually stay alive, because there is a weather on the island. There are some really hard episode premise that you have to accomplish, like having the weapon level high enough, so you need to make a couple of build actions for that, so you need to plan all of those and continuously still be able to make each episode accomplished during each day. So there's a lot of that, but I love the theme. I love that you're being on the island for your own free will, and that you have morale track change to the popularity track, and the fans are actually interacting with you. If you will fail during your actions, it goes down because fans are like disappointed that you didn't manage to do that, and it's also cohesive at this point, and that's one of my favorite ones. I think it's a top 3 for me. So I really try to get tuned for you to get some, you know.
I played it and I died in third or fourth round.
I mean, you can always try again with me if you want to.
maybe I should.
Yeah. So I really can't wait for you guys to go and play it later on, and I would love to check it out on the Instagram with your hashtags, and if you died, if you won. Looking forward to it. So the next one, maybe let's switch from something that you can watch from the sofa to more. Actually, as I look through all those scenarios, there is a lot of doom over those. Let's go to the Apocalypse Yesterday scenario from Bill Carrigan and his daughter Sarah Carrigan. Okay, and this one I liked most because there is a theme when the humanity got so greedy that it, I think that they caused the plagues because there were some, I mean, they stole the relics, and the ancient god got, very angry because they were quite, items which should be like praised and had a great power, and the world started to sink, the beast started to attack, the sun never came out of the clouds anymore, and you need to find those relics and return them to the, well, lands where it belongs, but your watch is sinking. So during each day you need to go and find another locations, because during the night phase, when you will stay on the tile that is sinking, you basically lose. And you also have this interaction with the map that I already mentioned, that when you see on the map that, okay, I go there and let's say I gather, I explore, I do something, and then at the end of the day there is a change in the map, like, okay, flip the tile with the lowest number and indicate it's sinking. So for me, personally, it's a great mechanism to show that it's all cohesive, that it's stuck to the theme, that the ancient gods are angry and they want, just worlds to disappear. And you are still looking for those relics to return and to make a cleanse action, because you can actually purify them so they do not cause each side of those negative effects, because you start with already 4 negative effects. You also have a better weapon level and so on, so you don't immediately die, but it's still quite hard because one of the effects says that you always have to fight with a beast. The other one, let me check. It's an ill luck, and as you normally would draw one card from the adventure deck. With the ill luck you have to draw and resolve 2 of them. And the next one is the Rising Ocean, the one already mentioned. So at the beginning of the night phase, you flip the tile. So it's also the effect that it's caused by this ancient relic. And the last one is sorry. signs of the times. So it's harder to find the totems. So you will have harder time to find totems because normally you start with rolling the weather dice, and when you cleanse one of the items, it's no longer causing, let's say, snowing or raining, right? And you can, or actually, yes, you have also this mechanism when you have all your stuff in a backpack. So you cannot, for example, build a, let's say, so something like oven or a pit or something that stays on the ground, because you can only build stuff that you can fit in your backpack, something like lantern, like line, like a basket. And when you move your camp, you can actually drop your stuff, and you will have to make special actions to go back for your backpack to take your items back before it sinks. So you're always on the run. You can actually drop your items off, so you have to collect them back, or just, you know, have them gone forever. And you have to first of all cleanse, purify all these relics, and it allows you to no longer resolve those negative effects. But the second thing is that you can make a floating camp. So when you make the floating camp, and it's really hard to make it because it takes a lot of resources, but when you do, you can actually start your round on already sunken tile, which is quite amazing if you ask me. And you, during the production phase, also receive some food because you have some fishing traps on there. And I really like the idea that you can like overcome all the negative effects with making something amazing, like the floating camp. Always like you maybe saw the how is it called, the water world, the post-apocalypse.
Yeah, the water world.
Yeah, so water world vibes, and I really like this different approach to the apocalypse when you actually sink instead of being on the desert. One of my favorite ones too, because you can see that the map is changing, that you start with the negative effects, and you have to actually turn them off by purifying the relics. And of course you need to find the relics, you need to take care of your backpack. Everything is just connected. And there is an apocalypse yesterday from Carrigans, and thank you for your amazing work. And now we have another
I think the last 5 minutes for questions and answers. Think about that.
it's already 5 minutes.
5 minutes remaining to the end of the stream, so maybe the last 5 minutes
All right.
you will spend for questions.
Okay, I thought we have some more time,
Wait,
so I
wait
thought
a
you
minute.
would.
I need to check.
All right.
To 1 p.m.
So okay. I would like to, guys, tell you more about all of these scenarios, but I think you would rather have your questions answered. All right. So let's check your questions. How does it fit all together? The book, app, and the treasure chest are all for the base game. How do Mystery Tales fit in? Is there a standalone expansion? All right, so when you play Robinson Crusoe with the Book of Adventures, you can play it basically with all these mini expansions. So the treasure chest and the base game is all right to play with each other. When it comes to Mystery Tales, I wouldn't use other expansions because it has very specific, changes to the rules. So I wouldn't really like try to put myself in various different directions. Like you really need to focus on making, because it's a campaign. So you need to go from one scenario to another. better to win the scenario than trying to get over and over it again, like you normally do with the scenarios in Robinson, when you have to like get mechanics and counter attack during various games. And if you would play with stuff from treasure chest too much, you would have a lot of additional tracking, and the decks would be rozwodnione? How would you say that?
Duna.
I mean, there would be unnecessary stuff, so it would drive you away from the concept. So I wouldn't recommend that. Of course, if you want to, then take in like a beach cards when you can search it and find stuff, it's okay. Or maybe play with additional discovery tiles, it's okay in the mystery tiles, but apart from that, I would rather stick to the expansion. Okay. And when it comes to the app, of course it works with both of the base game and the mystery tales to some point, because there are new event cards in the mystery tales, and those at least for now aren't planned to be in the app. So maybe it will be like another update for the app when you can implement the cards from the mystery tales onto it. But we need to grow up from the very beginning, so we start with the base game cards and those thematic ones, and later on we will see if you guys want to have also implemented mystery tales cards onto the app at this point. Alright, Ghost in the Darkness 1 would be amazing. I think we have in the Mystery Tales scenario when you have something like a monsters, like you have vampire and werewolf and so on. And it's made for a horror mode, especially when you can lose sanity. So if you like those Halloween themes, I think the standalone scenario in the Mystery Tales is for you. Alright. So maybe an adventure where you start with a lot of stuff, but each night you have to lose something. So the one I already mentioned, that Apocalypse Yesterday, is kind of like that. You start with a lot of stuff, but there is a lot of negative effects that you have to counter with each other. Like, okay, I start with the camp, I start with special items already built, I start with toasts in my backpack, but you also start with relics that are activating negative effects, and you lose tiles each day. So I think this is maybe what you thought about, starting with the more stuff. Well, I think you should try it out, because it kind of sounds like what you wanted. Does all the new stuff for Robinson Crusoe also work for the old edition? You mean before the Game of the Year edition? If so, I think there are nothing what couldn't be like put all together, because mainly the counters shape are changed, and there is one list scenario, but I think they're all compatible with each other. Will the Pegasus be publisher for Germany? Oh, I have no idea for that. Maybe Ignacy knows, but he is now quite occupied, so I can't answer it. Will there be a new campaign in the book? Well, we don't plan any new campaign, but in the book of adventures, if you will guys still buy a lot of Robinson content, I think we will release another campaign in another box, so it will have new components, because in the book you only have those pages, and when you want to incorporate something new in a way of a campaign, like new tiles, new something, it's better to have a separate box to put new characters on it, and they just wouldn't fit onto 2 pages of the Book of Adventures. So I think it would be better to just have a separate box for it. Add-on miniatures for characters. Well, that sounds amazing, but there's a thing that you most of the time stack one pawn on top of another, when you, like for example, go for a, explore or something. So I really like the idea that they're being stackable, so I don't know if they would be able to be in a miniature forms when it makes sense for them to be on one action. But I don't know, maybe Ignacy will like the idea and make miniatures. Will Livingstone be printed in the book? Well, I think the scenario itself will be on the book, but the newspaper will be like printed separately, and you will have it included. And all right, I think, guys, my time here is already over, and thank you for joining me. Thank you for hearing about all those scenarios. Thank you for being hyped. Thank you for actually playing all our expansions. It lets me think about all these new ideas that I can bring to you with Ignacy. And I think, well, I can only suggest you to stay tuned for our KS campaign, to give us likes, because it really helps us out to make even more ranges, to meet even more fans later on. So thumbs up if you liked it, and also you can tell all your friends that during the Spiel Digital we will also have a lot of other contents when we will be playing demos, answer your questions, and, well, just have you entertained, guys. So thank you very much for joining me today, and see you in another episode.